When people ask, most people say, I'm good. And he said, well, guess what? That's all you're going to be.
Yeah.
I'm good. And I was like, oh, I don't want to just be good. I'm going to be fucking amazing.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the intentional convo I had with Nick Hyder in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that episode, you have missed out. I'm just going to say it.
Yep.
He's got some quotables. Brad will talk about in a second.
He's got a couple great nuggets.
And
there was even a point where you said, rewind that.
I did say rewind that. You know, I'm starting to do that. People maybe are like, oh, that's so good. And if I say rewind it, they'll be like, oh, I could do that. Like everyone knows how to use their technology. And also, you guys, I think I said it in our interview, but Nick and I had an amazing conversation on his podcast, A Hit Streak.
Yep.
And that episode has been out for over a month. Just the content alone is still getting likes and shares, like thousands.
Wow.
So just saying, it was pretty amazing too. But really, he has great questions and he's a great podcast. You'll want to listen to The Hit Streak. Okay, today is August 29th, 2024, and it's More Herbs, Less Salt Day. Enjoy more herbs, less salt day on August 29th by reassessing your sodium intake. We understand that maintaining a balanced, healthy diet is easier said than done, especially since the flavor suffers the most. But healthy eating is no longer bland and boring. Spices and aromatic herbs are a great way to reduce salt in meals and amp up the taste. Your taste buds won't know what they're missing and your body will be grateful. I fucking love a salt lick, so I'm just going to say right now, like, I'm going to fail on this day. I put this in here
on purpose because Leslie's always like, did you add salt? Did you add salt? Did you add more salt? Can you just add some more?
I love salt, you guys. I swear to God, I need a salt lick.
Well, we also live in Vegas and we sweat a lot. You know? And
also I had tests done where they're like, you could add more salt.
Really?
Yes. Chris Talley was like, you can eat more salt. And I'm like tortilla chips with salt. He's like, add salt to the salsa. Yeah, no problem. Wow. So anyways, like just in general, I need more. I think as I do work out as much as I do, and we do live in Vegas, I'm just sweating. Yeah. At any rate, there are some great herbs out there. And if you work with Femgevity, you will find out your food sensitivities because Femgevity, because like I do, you should use our link, beitpod.com/Femgevity. It's spelled like how you think. Did we find out, is it basil that I can't have? What's on the list? There was some
Basil's on the list.
We love basil.
You have a mild
sensitivity
to basil.
And then there was a moderate one that was kind of a bummer as well. We'll have to look at it.
Anyway, I have to go back to the list.
It's on the refrigerator, guys. I clearly don't cook. He does. And we have a list on the fridge.
Well, here's what's super cool. For Cyber Monday, Black Friday, whatever deal, one year, I got one of those grow it in your kitchen little garden situations that's in the house on the counter. And I was like, oh, this is so annoying because once the thing grows and dies, I got to buy a whole new pod from them. Well, they're only $10 or $12 for like 6 pods. I was like, oh, okay, it's not the end of the world.
No, it's way less than buying the herbs that go bad in your fridge.
Way less than buying the herbs that go bad in your fridge. Way.
And the plastic around those.
Yeah,
herbs
is the worst.
Yes.
Just so much waste. Anyway, what's so fun about that though is you could have fresh herbs in your kitchen. Just beware, basil does take over. And so does mint. Mint takes over.
Also
the mint.
Was it the mint? I swear it was the dill because the dill went first. And I was like,
first.
It did die first, but it grew so fast. I'm like, what do you use dill on besides a deviled egg? We're going to make a pickle? What's happening here?
It grew and then it got choked out.
But we highly recommend herbs. So first of all, make sure that you are eating ones that are awesome with your body and your body wants. And second, grow your own because it's better for the environment and for your wallet.
Yeah.
Okay. Upcoming events and travel. We talked about this before, but if you are a Pilates instructor, my mentorship for 2025 applications are open. How many spots are left? I don't know. We're recording this in advance. So there might be none, but there might be some. And also we can talk about
2026. Yeah.
Should it be full. So go to lesleylogan.co/elevate. This is for teachers who are looking for someone to help them connect deeper to the method and really up-level their teaching, their practice, especially their practice and their connection to the method. It is really a lot of fun. Not only can it help build confidence if that is something you're lacking, but also can actually just really empower you to see what's in front of you and teach the body in front of you. And it just feels freaking awesome when you do that. You change more lives. Cambodia retreat. We are less than 6 months out for the February Cambodia retreat.
Just under 6. Under 6.
I'm so excited. I love the people who've signed up for that one because we know all of them so far, and it's just going to be a blast. So you are going to be an amazing community.
A couple longtime members.
Yes,
that we're going to basically get to hang out with. We're so looking forward to it.
And you don't have
you can join us.
And you also don't have to, oh my God, it's like an inside club. It's not like they live here, guys. We've only known them for a while on the internet. So it's the same as you. So we want you to come and be part of this family. We do become a family. It's really fun in a non-culty way. And we do really, really fun things.
Yeah.
So crowsnestretreats.com.
Yeah. crowsnestretreats.com. Okay. Guess what?
Tell me.
OPC, onlinepilatesclasses.com, has a new thing we're doing. Yeah. If you're watching us on YouTube, Lesley's pointing to her OPC hat made by Mindy's Closet. OPC has a trial membership that we're offering. 40 days for $40. And you can pick any of the 3 memberships that we offer, which are based on the equipment you have access to. So if you only have a mat, do our mat membership. If you have a mat and a reformer, do that one. If you have a whole studio or access to a whole studio, do the all equipment one. But you can try any of the 3 for $40 for 40 days. And what we do is we help you actually take advantage of using the membership. We're really good at this. We equip you with tools. We give you a suggested workout thing. We bring you into the community. You get to join us live for 1, maybe even 2 classes, depending on when you join. Live classes. Most of them are on demand, so you can take them anytime you like from your phone because we have an epic mobile app that you get to take advantage of all the things. So check it out. Go to opc.me/40, opc.me/40. And then finally, I've been doing another webinar series here for Profitable Pilates. It's called the Growth Accelerator, Studio Growth Accelerator. It's a free webinar. If you are feeling stuck with money in your business, I want you to join me on this webinar. We're going to go through a couple of things, 3 things actually, 3 big things that we're going to help unblock. You're not going to feel stuck after this. You're going to have a pathway forward after this. Go to prfit.biz/accelerator. That's profit without the O, .biz/accelerator, prfit.biz/accelerator, and join me for free. All right. Before we get into it with Mr. Nick Hyder, we did have an audience question, and today's was from YouTube, Melissa-AXHILI1LI, whatever. There's a lot. We're just going to say Melissa. Melissa asked, Lesley, where did you get your Pilates certification?
So this is a really good question. I've been trying to think about what do I want to say? Because if you're asking because you want to go train there, my first training program isn't someplace I recommend people. So I'm not going to say it because I don't want to discuss why I wouldn't recommend it. It was a great program.
It was 600 hours.
It was 600
a
hours.
mat certification only.
No,
it was comprehensive.
I had a full comprehensive. I will say, the thing is they don't do the training program that I did before. Now they let you do it modulated.
They chopped it up. Got it.
So what I experienced wasn't the most amazing experience, but the setup was really successful because they did make me learn how to teach a beginner and an intermediate client at the same time on 2 different pieces of equipment, which is why I can just teach chaos and I'm safe with it, right? So I did appreciate that, but it left me feeling like I had memorized a lot, but didn't know a lot. And so that's where I'll say the second training that I did, which was the Pilates Center out of Boulder, Colorado with Rachel Taylor Siegel and Amy Taylor Alpers and their amazing crew. And I do recommend their program to people because it's around the world and they have host studios everywhere and they have virtual options. I also do, just because people are going to ask, I do also recommend Equinox's program. If you have access to them, it's very robust. They actually have a really great hybrid model of super, super supportive help and then also virtual options for comprehensive. So the Pilates Center in Boulder was the actual one that I did as my second one. I did their master's program, which was over 3 years. And that was several hundred more hours. And I was basically living
in Boulder.
You were
in and out of Boulder all the time.
I was in and out of Boulder so much.
I was like, what is this Pilates thing? And why do you have to go to Boulder all the time?
All the time. Like every 2 weeks I was there.
Are you in a cult? Why do you continue to go there?
Mm-hmm, I know. And it was
when we first met, y'all.
Super fun. Whole Foods and I were best friends every single day. I think at Mod Market, I think is where I had lunch. At any rate, so that was really helpful because they helped me get rid of trying to correct people all the time and actually watch bodies a little bit more. But I still didn't know what that meant, and I really know what I was doing. And then I realized that I lived down the street from Vintage and Jay Grimes Studio and Sandy Shimoda and Karen Frischman. And so I actually studied with them, and all the things I've been looking for all in one place. It gave me a lot of confidence to just like really enjoy the process and really enjoy what Joseph Pilates created for us.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm going to say. No first program is ever going to get you what my third program got me. Like,
right.
It's just not possible.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. So for those of you who are like looking to become a teacher, grab my book and then find the best program that is accessible to you that sets you up for the most success. Meaning you can teach.
Her book is called Profitable Pilates, Everything But the Exercises. And the beginning part of it helps you choose a teacher training program that is going to help you get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
So it explains where you could potentially go and then works backwards from there. It's really great resource.
Yeah. And then you'll come take my mentorship when you're ready. And the thing is that Jay will always say—
the mentorship is for people who are already certified.
Yeah.
Right. So first you're going to go get certified through any of the myriad of training programs, teacher training programs that are out there. After you've gotten your certification, then you can come and do Elevate. Read
my book because I explain like what to be really looking for. Because if you take a mat training and then you want to take my mentorship, that doesn't work. If you just do a reformer, you do have to be trained on multiple pieces of equipment. But to put pressure on your first training program to be everything for you isn't fair to you nor them.
Sure.
However, there are some shitty ones out there, so be careful and read my book, and it will explain like what to look out for. And then here's the thing: Jay would always say like, you're not really a teacher till you've been teaching for 5 years. And people can take a lot of offense to that. Of course, if you've only been teaching 3 years, like, I'm a teacher, I have full classes. I get that perspective. I have to say, there's also just a lot of confidence that comes with time and with allowing yourself to be curious. And when you've been teaching for 5 years, you really have kind of seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
And you've realized like what's important, what's not important. And hopefully you're progressing people at a better pace than you did when you were beginning. But it's a second training program is probably in your future for most teachers, just because you're not learning how to say words and understand things. So just know that and give yourself permission to not have gotten it all out of the first program, because it's hard to get at all that out of any first program.
It's true. Yeah, well, that's a great question, Melissa. Thank you so much for asking. If you have a question, hit us up. You can text us at 310-905-5534, or you can hit us up on the gram or on YouTube or through our customer support, anywhere you want. And I'm sure it'll work its way back here to the pod, and you'll be pleasantly surprised when your question surfaces over here. So thanks for that. Stick around because we're about to dive in to this conversation with Nick Heider. All right, now let's talk about Mr. Nick Heider, former pro athlete. Nick Heider is a dedicated husband and father, deeply rooted in his faith. As a seasoned entrepreneur, he co-owns agency, runs a merchant processing company, and operates a set of studios and a creative agency in Tennessee. That sounds like a lot. Nick is also involved in digital marketing and manages various affiliate partnerships. Additionally, Nick is the host of the Hit Streak podcast and the voice of a SiriusXM radio station. So he keeps himself clearly quite busy, but he obviously has also surrounded himself with quite a team.
Yeah,
we had a chance to meet that team, some of that team in person when we were in Nashville. I don't remember, a couple months back. They were super professional and had everything ready to go. I wasn't even involved in the interview, but they even made me feel like I was a guest on the show, and it was just really awesome. So a big shout out to the guys over there that we had a chance to work with, and also to Nick for putting together a really great crew. So
I'm going to jump in.
Do it.
But I want to just preface, like, I'm about to say something that's going to make some of you go, this episode's not for me. What I'm going to say after this applies to everything.
Applies to everything.
So see your own shit in the story.
See your own shit.
Sure, Nick is like, yes, thanks for saying see your own shit. When it comes to my, like I don't think he cusses at all. he mentioned digital marketing is massive. He said many people don't do social media, but then blame the algorithm. He talked about like, is the algorithm that you're blaming? He says you have to take ownership of things because the only way you can fix it. And when we place blame on things, we give someone else ownership. And that means you've removed yourself from being part of the solution. So this goes for everything.
Yep.
When you blame other people or other things for why you didn't get something done,
or you're not getting clients, or you're not finding teachers, or
you've removed yourself from the solution. And I don't even know how you get the solution solved. So I agree. I actually don't ever focus on the algorithm. I don't really care. I'm just like, let me experiment. What can I put out? And let's see how it lands. And some of the things I'll do really, really well, don't do well at all. And some of the things I'm like, this is not a nothing thing. They do really, really well. So here's the thing. Social media is actually not about quality. It's about quantity, which is the opposite of Pilates. But also Brad Bizjack was someone who said, we have the ability to be responsible for things.
Is that the Brad he kept referencing?
I don't know.
Because he referenced Brad multiple times. And I was like,
I know.
Did I say something?
Yeah. And I wonder if it's Brad Bizjack because we'll have to ask him. I don't know. But like people get pissed off when Brad Bizjack would say like the things that happen to you, you're responsible for because you have the ability to respond. And it allows you to not be a victim of a situation. It allows you to take ownership and lead the change of what you want to see. So I think that goes for social media, but also for anything you want to do.
Well, in this case, what he was talking about was the insurance business. So previous to insurance, he and his partner, I imagine it was his wife, they were in the clubs. They were promoting, right? So they had a promoting company, and promoting was all about the hustle, connecting, getting in there, meeting people, socializing. And so they were all over the social media game because they needed to. If you didn't play that game, you did not succeed in the world of promoting. And then when they started their insurance company, they just transitioned that momentum over to doing insurance. And he said it created a massive leg up for them because at the time, no one else was doing social media in the insurance game, and they slayed, right? And it really set them up to create that foundation. But all that rolls into what I wanted to talk about, which was he talked about your personal brand and it being your reputation online. He said he started off as a pro athlete, and it allowed him to get his foot in the door at a lot of different places because of his reputation. But just because he was a pro athlete didn't mean he had an online personal brand. He said once they had established the online brand for himself, for Nick Hyder, and then was consistently delivering quality content and creating an audience around it, he said at this point, we could launch any business we want.
Yeah.
And we could leverage the personal brand and roll it into whatever business we wanted to.
It's why J-Lo has gyms, guys. You know that? Right. She's got gyms. Like, what's her name? Goldie Hawn's daughter. She's got clothing. She's got making music. Once you have this reputation people know and trust, they'll follow anything that you're going to do.
Yeah. And we tell all of our clients with agency, hey, focus on one thing first. So if you're going to open a Pilates studio, don't also open a yoga studio and a gym and a thing and a whatever, unless you're happening to roll them all into one and you're marketing it as that one thing. But you have to build that foundation first of the one thing. And then from there, once you've created that notoriety, once you've built that trust, then you can like introduce speaking gigs or workshop gigs or other things, or start a podcast or do other things.
I know. We meet people all the time like, I want to have my on-demand membership. I'm going to have a podcast. I want to do a retreat. And I'm like, okay, do you have a team?
Yeah.
Do you have money? Because if you don't have both of those things, you can do one of those things very well on your own, but all three not at the same time.
Yeah. So with the personal brand, he said, hey, it's so important to take it seriously. Pretend your personal brand is a company. He said, when life gets busy, it's most often the thing that takes a back seat. And at the end of the day, it is the foundation for anything else that you want to do down the road. So he talked about it the entire show. So it was great. I really appreciated it. He said it's a commitment. Put your personal brand on a level of importance, just like other things in your life, like family, kids, business.
I mean, I think that's and here's the thing. It's like, do you know what your priorities are? Because I think most people say their priorities are the growth of their business and their family and their kids and their whatever. And then when you look at their schedule, you see it's answering emails, paying the bills, going grocery shopping. So like make sure that your priorities are really in your schedule and you can make that commitment.
Yeah, love it. Stick around. We're going to cover those beit action items in just a sec. All right. So finally, let's talk about those be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Nick Hyder? He said, everything you do has got to be done on purpose. The difference between major league pitcher and the little league pitcher is the size target they can hit. The more specific you are with the targets and your goals, the better chances you have of hitting them. Nick explained, he actually had a ton of metaphors and a lot of quotes. I was joking with Lesley earlier, and I said, I think that if you live in Nashville, like when you move in, they just give you a book of quotes, because all the Nashville guys that we interview, they rattle off quotes. It's really impressive because they're totally applicable for the moment. But I'm like, I don't have that in my, I need more. I need quotes from Wayne Gretzky, like he quoted at the very end. He said, you don't win the championship by accident, you choose it. And that was the goal that you wanted, so you do the work. In fact, the quote he said was the Gretzky quote is, you win the game before you even step on the ice.
Yes.
Right? And I was like, wow, mindset, powerful, confidence. I've got this. That's amazing to me. I mean, everything you do has got to be on purpose. So love it. What about you?
Well, more quotes. He quoted Bruce Lee.
He did. He also quoted Bruce Lee.
By the way, I did a Bruce Lee exercise today in my Pilates session because this other guy from Korea did it. And I was like, ugh. And my teacher, Ken, was like, oh, Lesley, you could do that. And I was like, I'm going to do it, obviously. And you know what, guys, I hadn't done it in like 10 years and I fucking did it.
Nice.
So we're channeling Bruce Lee today. He said, you're casting spells on yourself with the words that you say. So when people ask Nick how he's doing, his response is, I'm unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable.
Talk about an amazing response.
Yes, yeah. I'm unstoppable. And by the way, it does make me think of Cafe Gratitude. It's like, I'm going to honor the unstoppable bowl. And when they bring it to you, they're like, you are unstoppable.
I mean, I made this decision a long time ago. When people ask me, what do I say?
I'm amazing.
I'm amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably should stop saying, when people say, what are you up to? You have to stop saying drugs then. Like,
oh, maybe I have to stop saying drugs.
You are casting a spell on yourself.
That's been my quote for 25 years.
And people don't think that, they don't know that you're joking. They think that you're serious. So
they said, what do you do? I used to just say drugs.
Yeah. What do you do for a living? He's like, drugs. And like, they just stop now because now people,
they're like, can he?
Because now so many drugs are legal, they think it's true. So like you have to come up with something better because you're casting spells on yourself and it's not good. Okay. He says it enough times, he actually believes it because everything takes repetition.
Sure. And
he talked about when people ask, most people say, I'm good. And he said, well, guess what? That's all you're going to be.
Yeah.
I'm good. And I was like, oh, I don't want to just be good. I'm going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah. I want to be unstoppable.
Yeah. So, everyone just start looking up different, what are those adjectives? What's unstoppable? Is that a verb?
I have no idea.
It's an adverb. You guys, I cheated all through English class. So I'm just going to tell you right now, I will never know. Sometimes I don't really know the difference between a semicolon and a colon. So
it's an adjective.
It's an adjective. Wow, look at me. I was right on the first. I should have just trusted myself. I should just had the confidence to go, it's an adjective. At any rate, you guys, just look up adjectives and then pull out 5 that strike your fancy and try them on and say them enough times, you'll believe them. I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. This is amazing. I hope if you haven't yet listened to Nick's episode,
unstoppable.
Go. It's unstoppable. You know what? It's fucking awesome. This is one of the best podcasts you've ever listened to. I know it. So what are you going to do with this episode? You're going to share it with a friend.
You are going to share it with a friend.
You're going to share it with a friend. We're going to say it one more time. Share this with a friend. You can text it. You can tweet it. You can email it. However you communicate. You can send it by
exit.
You can carrier pigeon it to somebody. And because this is how the show grows. And also check out what Nick's doing if that was inspiring for you. Until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.